For the love of all that is good, do yourself a favor and don't spoil this game for yourself right now. I'm giving you a whole ass warning. If you haven't seen the ending, go see the ending and then come back. Unless you don't care, in which case, let's have a little bit of a conversation. How did I put 60 hours into this game? That's like 20 more hours than Final Fantasy VII Remake or even Kingdom Hearts 3. That shouldn't be possible.
Everybody like, hey, are you ready to go? Ready to go. Everybody like, hey.
Alright, what's up y'all? Soul here and welcome back to my story mode. If it wasn't obvious, I just recently completed Age of Calamity. And when I say completed, I mean completed. You don't just obtain this legend right here with minimal effort. I saw the ending as well as the secret ending, and now I cannot be more excited for Breath of the Wild 2. There's actually some very specific reasons that I'll get into very soon, but right now, I'd like to bring something up. Specifically, some dire questions that have presented themselves during my personal playthrough of Age of Calamity. Some of these questions may already have answers, some may not. If you know the answer, for the love of God, please tell me what it is. Okay, why don't we stop dawdling and get into the confusion that I'm left with. Maybe y'all can educate me a little bit. Question 1. Who the hell is Terrico? And if Zelda built him, why does he have time travel powers? In the main story, we have to body the poor boy, and then we get a cutscene showing a younger Zelda no older than 5 or 6 building Terrico and showing off the finished product to her mother, who was already supervising the build. We were able to see the blueprints directly under Terrico, but where did those even come from? Zelda's mom? And if it was her mom, why in God's name did she have her child building robots at such an early age? If Hyrule had a college before Calamity, Zelda was getting set up! I assume it was Zelda's mom because Terrico, throughout the game, literally sings Zelda's lullaby to calm her down in multiple moments. And that song didn't just come from anywhere. What the hell did that woman know? That thing also time traveled. I don't have any clue as to why it was able to do that, as well as summon the characters from the future, and I'm livid about it. All we know now at this point about Terrico is that he was built by Zelda, he was able to travel through time of his own power, and he was able to resurrect towers from the ground the moment that he woke up in the past. This character alone poses way too many questions. And yet I'm invested. I love this little thing. Moving along here, my second big question is, who is Aster? At one point in the story, he just kind of shows up after the Yiga clan fails to take over the Gerudo and slay the princess at his request. We don't know anything behind his purpose or his upbringing. We just know that he's an agent of Calamity. If this were Danganronpa, Ganon is Junko, and this dude is a remnant of despair, literally willing to give everything to make sure that Calamity took over. Like a friggin' nutcase. Also, where in God's good name did he snag this evil Terrico? And how in the world was it filled with enough malice to become Calamity Ganon itself after just absorbing Aster? That means that this whole time, this little guardian was pre-Calamity Ganon. But why does it look exactly like Terrico? I'm almost positive that this thing time traveled as well, meaning it has some of the same abilities, but if this thing was just Ganon in development, what is Terrico? The history of the Guardians have to have some role in their development, because there's just way too many questions. They're complete opposite, and yet not so entirely different. My next big question is, how did the future kids know that they were going to be summoned? One of the ultimate turning points in the story was when Sidon and the others came from the future and rescued their predecessors. And I guess in Sidon's case, older sibling. But when they were summoned, they were already prepared to fight. Think about that for a second. There is no way in hell that one day they were just minding their own business and then all of a sudden a portal shows up showing the champions from 100 years ago. You're telling me that they were strapped up and ready to go just like that? You are not convincing me that Yonboro, of all the characters, saw that portal and didn't contemplate and panic for at least 4 hours before hopping in. I believe Sidon, but not Yonboro. I just can't shake the idea that someone warned them beforehand that they would need to be prepared to save the champions and change the timeline for the better. My question is, who? Who could have possibly told them knowing that this was going to happen? I have a couple of guesses, but I'm going to have to save that for another video. Those right there are my big questions. Will any of them get answered? I have no idea, but since this game is actually canon, I don't think I have anything to worry about. I'm going to be doing everything in my power to come up with some answers to these questions, and if you'd like to join me on that journey, I suggest sticking around, because there's some serious deep diving to get into, and it's going to be a tad hard to get into it alone. Also, the review for this game is in progress as we speak. There's a lot I'd like to talk about regarding the game itself, but it's going to take me some time to get all of my thoughts and feelings about it together, but I promise you it's going to be worth the wait, so bear with me if you could. Also, there's going to be plenty of content coming out about the game before the review itself, so just be patient. We're going to get a lot of content these next coming weeks. Just stick with me. Well, for the most part, I think I've just about gotten that off my chest, so I think I'm going to go ahead and skedaddle on out of here. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time.